Today we're going to be talking about what it's like to live in Durham. I've lived here my entire life, so we're going to be hitting on some things we love about living here and don't like about living here, so stick around.
All right, so the first thing we love about Durham is proximity to Duke. We're actually on Duke's campus now. It's honestly, it's one of the most beautiful places in all of the Triangle, really probably in all the state. It's just a really beautiful area. But Duke is the third largest employer in the state of North Carolina, private employer. So I think Walmart beats it out, and then Atrium Health, which is, I believe, the healthcare system in the Charlotte region. Yeah. But proximity to Duke, proximity to the Research Triangle Park. Most of the Research Triangle Park is actually in Durham County. And so, I mean, just with Duke and the Research Triangle Park, you have massive organizations for jobs. So
yeah, and in general in Durham too, it's just all the stuff downtown. It's kind of becoming this techie type hub, piggybacking off of the RTP area. So you have a lot of startups and just employment opportunities here in Durham. Yeah. Kind of piggybacking off of that pro is that you have great hospital systems right here. So if medical care is a concern of yours, living in Durham is going to be amazing for access to Duke Hospital, one of the top hospitals in the country. You also have UNC Healthcare, which is just in Chapel Hill, like a 20-minute drive. They're right next to each other. So
honestly, depending upon what part of Durham you're in, you may even be closer to the UNC healthcare system than you are
if you're
the
on
Duke
some
system.
of the south side, yeah, for sure. But then, you know, Duke and UNC own most all of the healthcare around the area. So not just the hospitals, but your other clinics and things of that nature. There's a ton of healthcare right here in Durham, which is awesome.
Yeah. So one of the things we do not love, kind of building off of this, is depending upon what part of Durham you live in, your accessibility to just your daily amenities. So places like Walmart or Target, they're going to be further away. So if you live on the north side of Durham, you're going to have to drive all the way to the south side to get to a Walmart or a Target. And it's just, it's not a terrible thing, but it's definitely, whereas in like Raleigh, they're everywhere. In Durham, they're mainly on the south side. Yeah,
a lot of your commercial development is going to be on the south side of Durham, whereas the northern side feels a little more like established, and rural isn't necessarily the right word, but bigger lots and less commercial space.
Yeah, exactly.
So a big pro to Durham is going to be how affordable it is compared to some of the surrounding areas in the Triangle. So here in Durham, our average price point for a detached single-family home is around $450, whereas in Raleigh, you're going to be closer to almost $700 for a detached home. Now, when you pull in townhomes and condos, it really brings those numbers down a bit, but most people we talk to are curious about single-family homes, so we just want to take the numbers for that.
Yeah, exactly. And we probably didn't pick a great neighborhood for that price point because the neighborhood we're in is not that price point. But in general, in Durham, the price points are going to be significantly lower than what you would find for a Raleigh or a Cary or Apex or a Holly Springs. And so your dollar stretches significantly further here. And I think in general too, another thing we love about Durham is the neighborhoods tend to be a little less cookie cutter. I think you can have a little more character. Now, Durham does have a significant amount of new construction, but that tends to be on the east side. If you're on the north, west side of Durham, even on the south, a lot of the neighborhoods on the south don't necessarily have a cookie cutter feel to them. They may be a little newer, but they don't have a cookie cutter feel to them than some of the others.
Newer, but probably like 20 years old or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Most of, like if you're going to a surrounding suburb that has a lot more going on right now with new construction, like Apex or Holly Springs, Fuquay Varina, where things, the average age is like really built in like the last 5 years. Not that every neighborhood is this way at all, but generally speaking, when you're looking at your typical new construction neighborhood, you know, it can feel a little bit cookie cutter, smaller lots. In Durham, you know, it's a more urban area, really was well developed many decades ago. And so you have just a little more character and charm, I think, in my opinion.
I think one con that kind of comes off of this is you don't have the neighborhoods that are filled with like resort style amenities, you know, that you would get in like a Holly Springs or maybe an Apex or maybe a Wake Forest or like a Wendell. Those tend to be a little newer neighborhoods, a little more cookie cutter feel to them, but the amenities you get in neighborhoods like that with the pools and the trails and just everything about them, you don't necessarily find that as often in Durham.
For sure, yeah. There's a few neighborhoods that have pools and things in Durham, so not to say there's nothing like that, but you know, it's definitely not in the amount that you would find in some of the other suburbs for sure. So if you are like, we got to have a pool and trail system and all this stuff within the neighborhood, and you still want to be in an affordable price point, it's probably not going to be as possible in Durham as some of the other areas in Wake County.
Exactly. All right, another one of our favorite things about Durham is access to the Eno River, which is where we are currently. We're actually at the West Point access point. So there's several access points in Durham to the Eno. And to be fair, Durham is not unique in that it has river access. There's other rivers in the triangle that you can get to in other places. So it's not unique, but it's just one of the really nice things about Durham. You can access the Eno, there's trails around it. It's just a beautiful area.
Yeah, and I think what does make it unique, I think some of the other rivers in other parts of the triangle don't have as many access points, whereas the Eno has a lot. So if you have toddlers and you come, like Hughes Ford is a great little swimming hole for them. That's not where we're at today, but in general, so much around here with trails and things to do at the Eno.
Yeah.
Kind of a con to Durham is that we have the Eno River parks in general, like playgrounds and parks that don't revolve around the Eno itself, which is actually a state park. It's not run by the county of Durham, but that they're just not as good as what you'll find in Wake County. It's not that they're awful or anything, but when you go into Wake County, like a lot of the playgrounds, it's like new equipment or sprawling. Like there's a lot. Like you go to Pullen Park and there's a train and a carousel and a playground and boats and a pond, and you go to a park in Durham and it's usually just like a baseball field and a small playground. You know, it's like just not.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of times an old playground at that.
Yeah. Right. Some of them, I feel like a lot of the playgrounds here are getting some more updated equipment, but that's like a slow over time, and it's still not like massive
I'm gonna credit
equipment.
Our videos too.
Yeah, it was us. It was us. You know,
We've been hard on Durham for playground equipment.
Yeah. So when you're a parent and you have little kids, you want to go somewhere that's there. So sometimes you'll go to other parks and there's just not as much happening as like what you might see in Wake County, which is okay. It's different, but that is one of the things that as parents we dislike about living in Durham is access to like really high quality, really fun playgrounds where you can meet people in the community and it's like lively and there's a lot going on. You don't see as much of that at the parks in Durham, though you have a nice trade-off with all the Eno parks here.
Yeah, you do.
And the Museum of Life and Science also supplements that tremendously.
That is true. I mean, the Museum of Life and Science is, I think, probably the best kids museum in the area.
Yeah, for sure. And it's located on the northern Durham side. Yeah, and just amazing features at the Museum of Life and Science. We go there all the time. Our kids absolutely love it. It's huge, so you don't really get tired of it because there's just so much going on. And it's like, there's an indoor component, but a lot of outside stuff too, which is great to get all the energy out. Yeah.
All right, we're Zach and Cindy Honeycutt, a couple real estate agents in the area. So if you're looking to buy or sell, we'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. Our contact info is below. We also have done, so obviously this video is on Durham. We've done other videos on Durham before, so feel free to check those out. And you can also find us on Instagram.
Yeah, we'd love to have you follow along with us on Instagram. You can find us at The Honeycutt Realtors, and you can head over to our website, honeycuttrealtors.com. We would love to spend some time chatting with you about a potential move this way and answer any questions you have.
Yeah, and by the way, as a disclaimer, if you saw a bunch of like debris and branches as we're like walking through the neighborhoods, we had some crazy storms come through last night, like 80-mile-per-hour winds, knocked down a ton of trees. So that is not normal. We normally don't like just have a bunch of debris in our roads here. So anyway, just complete disclaimer. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.